So the next protocol that we have developed for supporting schools' installment of screening as a regular school practice is the screening coaching sheet. And these are really tailored to the specific structures that you have developed at your school site. So this is a sheet that would be prepared and available for teachers on the day of screening and leaders as they are reviewing to make sure everything is set up. So you'll see at the top of the sheet that you'll start with that T drive or that trusted drive. There'll be a folder that's shared with staff specifically, and each one of these are permissioned so that anyone who has an educational purpose for seeing these data has access to the folder. It'll go down for screening, the employee ID number, the school year, the time point, and then the teacher's file will be there. And then the week before, it gives you some prompts for your screening leaders in your school. And again, this can serve as a checklist and as a quick tip sheet for answering questions that you might have at your site. So you're going to make sure that as a leader, a week prior to asking your teachers to conduct screening, you're going to log in. You're going to make sure that all of the teachers' files are there that should be there for your selected screening time point. You're going to check that the anchors in the spreadsheet are correct and easily visible. You're going to make sure that you can enter some practice data and that any conditional formatting that exists is accurate according to the cut scores that are listed on this sheet. Again, on this example, you'll see these preliminary cut scores that we have for the internalizing items, and those are only for the elementary school. So those should not be used at middle school or high school currently. You'll also confirm that all students are accounted for. At that point, you'll close the files. They will be ready for the first day of screening for your teachers to log in and complete the screening. This is also a sheet that I would have prepared for teachers and ready either in a hard copy next to computers in the computer lab where they will be conducting screening, or it may be available electronically for their reference. It has tips about really just logging into your screening folders, how to find it, so it guides them through that file path. Ask them to confirm that their employee ID is accurate and that the students that are listed in their form are the ones that they expect. If there are any concerns or problems, they should be addressed efficiently and quickly by their screening contact people on the school site. The next is some information for rating students. And what's important is that you rate or consider the behaviors of one student at a time across each of the items instead of going down any of the individual items. So one student at a time and you rate across, and then the sums will automatically appear. If you have a student on your list who hasn't been there for at least 30 days, then we would recommend that you skip them until the next screening time point so you have sufficient time for them to get acclimated to the school environment and for you to really have enough information to be able to make good decisions about what you're scoring. We ask that you would not change the file names, not save it to any other place on the computer except for that trusted drive. Make sure that you save your information so it is there when your district will pull down that information to be used and examined across your school. Make sure that you keep in mind that these data are confidential, as are all student educational data. And then we also provided at the bottom of this protocol that screening at a glance sheet for teachers to make some notation at the end of their screening so that they can go back and start to make some decisions about interventions for students. So this information, again, is posted on the website for your use.